And so now our speaker of the day is Reverend Tress, and her title is Live with Love and Gratitude. So welcome, beautiful lady. Just moved over.
Yeah, and forward a bit there. I heard you say something in the bag. I'm not going to show anybody, but actually I am. I'm going to just back it up a little bit so I. All right, here we go. Now I have a daughter-in-law who knows what I like, and so she buys me stuff every once in a while. And I wanted to have a few items to talk about today. So she brought the bag and she said, I ordered this thing for Christmas. Well, ladies, look at what she got me. I'm going to stand up. A Johnny Depp bag. And it's from some sort of man's cologne that's supposed to smell good, so you look like Johnny Depp. I'm not. But there you go. And I just had to bring it to put my talk in and a few other items here. So I'll put it in this way just in case anybody needs to look at Johnny Depp again. There you go. Alrighty. All right. So we had Canada Day. And Canada Day is just like, it's not just a day. People are out there. I used to live right at the bottom of the hill. We used to walk and watch the fireworks and everything, but no more. But just all the people get together and they have a good time. It's a communion of people, friends. When you're a teenager, if you're boys, you're trying to find the cute girls. And if you're the girls, you're trying to find the cute boys. And if you're mom, you're trying to keep up with the kids. But there's a family. And if you're from a, if you are an immigrant or a parent was an immigrant, you can watch them perform on the stage. And for me, it would be doing the Highland Fling and all of that kind would be part of my background. But we all have that. But part of Canada also is the freedom. We just look around. Here we are. There was nobody watching us come in and recording us. There is no one saying you're not allowed to go to church. We can come. And in all honesty, if all of you didn't like what I said, there's a door. You can always get out and go out, and nobody's going to shoot you on the way out. I know it sounds drastic, but in reality, it's not drastic. We are free here to worship however we see fit and vote however we see fit and do whatever, because this is where we live. So part of the Canada Day is the fun and the fireworks, but it's also the freedom, I think, of. I remember what my family had to do to get here, come up in a covered wagon from Oklahoma and farm, or come across as a war bride from Scotland to live in a country where she didn't know anybody. That's Canada. And just think of your part of how you got here. And you're here now, and we have some little ones, and they're going to have a whole different story when they're our age to tell people. So don't you feel the power of the freedom of what we have? But it's summertime and the beauty, and that's another thing, getting out. The rain actually stopped and the flowers grew. And at my house, they were there. Ah, and then, something happened. The hail came and now they're, but you know what? They're not dead yet. So they have that survival instinct, like all of us have that survival instinct within us. days of love, love, feel the love. Days of wonder, how did they ever do it? How have I ever made it? What the wonder of the world, the beauty of all things, and the gratitude, the thankfulness for what we have. But you know, gratitude doesn't always demand perfection. And what I mean by that is you don't have to be, well, I got to be perfect before I can be grateful for what I have. No, you look around and realize what you have. There's people right behind you wishing they had what you had. We are so fortunate, and we have opportunities to work and get what we want. Well, I want to talk a little bit about this idea of you got to be perfect. Because my sweetie and I have been watching the soccer. Now, we had these kids playing soccer. They grew up, they worked really hard, they kept trying, and they got into Team Canada as mature people. Now, Canada's team was way down in the low 40s of ranking of success. So they went and played against, I can't remember South Africa. They played against South Africa. And now they weren't supposed to win. No, no, Hallelujah, hallelujah. Guess what? We won. You're not the boss of me. We won. We showed you guys. Now, you think that was the team. That was old Reverend Tress up there saying, way to go, boy. Shame on you guys for trying to beat him. And like passion. Because when I see these players, I see them, okay, yeah, you're men in whatever age you're in, and you've worked really hard. I see them like I see all children. I could be your grandma. And look at what you've done. Look at what you've done. You believed in yourself, and you didn't let everybody go squash. You're not worth it. Squash, you can't do it. So they played yesterday. Now, they did not win in the world's eyes. However, they played Morocco. So they were way down in 40th. And then they got in with the 32 teams. So that meant they were higher up. And then they played Morocco. Well, here's the guys that were way down there. They were playing the 8th ranked highest team in the world. And they didn't win, but getting there. And what they did, they won 100% more in my mind than the winners won because of all the hardships and the disbelief. And like we have a baseball cap, and we have all kinds of stuff to remind us of these guys. And so, good old John. Okay, Reverend Veer, I've got a job for you. Would you like to pass this around and let everybody hold it? And as they hold it, feel the dreams of our Canada team, but also the dreams that they might have and had as a child or will one day. Yay! Yay! They did a great pass. Future players. And the truth of why we bought that ball, we bought it before because we are supposed to be doing these physical therapy we're supposed to be doing these physical therapy exercises, and we needed a ball the right size, so we bought that ball. So And they've won in the sports, but we haven't been that good at our our end of the deal. So just let gratitude be the way you look at life. Like, how far have you gone doing different things? And you think, oh, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Well, you can fall down, well, pick yourself up. And, I just happen to have my own war story here of a battle, and I'm just going to share it with you. We went to the farmer's market, and I have a walker that I take. So theoretically, it's so that I can get around better without having to do the cane thing. But in reality, it's where I'm supposed to put the rhubarb pie that Sweetie buys from the lady, and she makes the best rhubarb pie. Well, I did. Got we got the rhubarb pie, and I'm being a real good wife with, yeah, I have the pie, and and then we get to this counter, and they had vegetables, carrots. I wanted carrots. I've got the pie in this hand, right, hanging onto the walker, and I lean for the carrots, and I literally toppled over. I was on the ground, and I'm looking at, I so I fell under the counter. They say you under. I was under the counter, and one lady's coming this way, and one, are you okay? I'm okay. I'm okay, but save the pie. Save the pie. And you know what? They saved the pie, and I do have, yeah, I have a bit of a war wound here, but you know what? It'll heal. It was worth it. So love comes in many forms, but yeah, just but being from a Scottish background, I found this very interesting. That there's a situation when they went and played Boston. Some of you may know, but um, they come and find out, the people of Boston, well, what are all these traffic cones doing on our statues? And, well, that was the Scottish people. You see, in Glasgow, there is, outside of the art museum, there is a statue of some duke of somebody or other. And somebody went and put a traffic cone on the head of this duke statue. Well, now that's not good. Shame on you. You guys are bad. And the authorities told him, don't do that again. So you know what that did? Next day, you got a traffic cone up. And they kept having traffic cones up. So that is part, when the Scots come, they put the traffic cones up to show we were here. And my daughter in law was telling me they even had a little Yorkie dog somebody had, and had a little traffic cone hat, and they'd bring it to all the pubs for the, yeah. But that's the creativity. The I was here. And we all leave our little scatterings of when we were there. So why not make it a little bit of fun in life, hey? So just who do you think you are? I know growing up we're told, well, who do you think you are? Well, I'm going to tell you, you are a creation of the divine here to be who you are. And only you know, like, what's going on in here, what games you're going to be playing in life. But you see, we're all works in progress. And along the way, sometimes stuff just happens. And we get all these opportunities to grow. And I just created the best opportunity to grow for myself unintentionally. I'll tell you what you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to lay something down and go off and do something. And you come back and you sit down and you hear crack. I have really big letters on here today because I sat on my glasses. And they didn't just kind of bend because I had the plastic kind of, they went. So I will not be able to see through the glasses to get glasses for probably another 3 weeks. So I have reading glasses and other glasses, and if I fall down, well, just pick me up. Oh, I'm like one of the. But yeah, you always have to be ready for stuff. But you know, our vision, we have a vision, but that's not enough. You must have the vision and have it combined with a venture to go out there, a dream, something to follow it, or even just a plan to do something. Because if you see a set of stairs, oh, gee, that looks nice. I have to climb those stairs to see what's at the top. And if I trip on the way up, just keep going up. That's part of it. Have the courage, take the step and do what you feel you need to do in your life. And the crazy part is your life is like you have a rock, and I always have rocks in my pocket, and I can tell you about that some other time. Throw the rock into the pond. It doesn't go poof. It makes the little circles. Everything you do in your life, you're like that little rock in the pond. Make a decision to do this. Well, here comes the circles, and it affects all around you. And you're sharing your love, your joy, or your grumpiness, or whatever is on the meal today of who you are. So answer the calls that come to you. And then scrape away all of the false beliefs and allow this to shine the beauty of who you are. I mean, these guys, some people are saying, oh, well, you didn't win. Look at you. Well, I think they did darn good, and they certainly did win to go through all of that, travel all the places they did, and win way up there. And people told them they couldn't do it. Well, I bet they're laughing at them now. Hey, you can do it, but you do it your way. There's something which awaits on our recognition to spring into being. I can do it. Bringing with it all the power of the universe. That's what Dr. Holmes said. But if you read in the Bible, ask and ye can receive. Seek and ye shall find. Seek. You have to be looking for it. And then you have to gather it up when you have it. Live your life. Because we all have a purpose, and no purpose is so small. Save the pie. I mean, that was a darn good purpose. But remember your faith as a little kid. That belief, that strong belief. Well, there's an example of it. You want to hold it up high? There, that was a belief of a bunch of little boys. Thanks, Vera. And we see where it got them, but our beliefs, our little dreams, a lot of people don't see them. But we're living our lives, and we know when we reach those dreams, or we know when we've done part of that dream, and we know, hey, I can do it. Hey, I've made a difference in the world. Or hey, I can leave that behind me and go on and step a new step up the steps of my journey of life. We were determined as little. We were determined in many areas in our life. Well, let's have it be determined today to live our life the best way we can and do something new that we haven't done before. whatever it may be. Dr. Holmes said, let you and I see as little children. It's natural for us to believe. It is natural for us to dance with joy and to enter into the rhythm of life, not hide behind, not be ashamed, but dance with the rhythm of life and happiness. And it's natural to expect the miracle of love to perform its act of kindness through us. The gas in the tank of our bodies isn't always the food. It is also the spiritual. And each day we do live spiritually. So, what is it we can bubble up in our cauldron and have fun with, or say, hey, I haven't looked at that for a long time? Well, it's about time I did it. Or it's about time I went out for dinner, asked someone out for dinner. Or it's about time I made people aware that I am available to be asked out for dinner. You know, we all have our I wish, I wish, I wish. Well, today, be just like you're fishing and imagine yourself getting that wish come up there and take that step to get that wish. Make that phone call. Do whatever. Because the person you want to be, you already are. They're just waiting to pop out. Because what we have to express is the divine. Now, there's an affirmation of Dr. Holmes that I use that I love, and it is everything in my world works harmoniously, divinely. I live in a completeness of the present moment, because that's all we really have. I know that all wisdom guides me, and all power protects me, and the all present goes within me. So if God or divine mind or your connection with seems just so far away, well, ask yourself, who moved? As children, we knew. Well, who moved? We can go right back and start to see that within us is that power to do whatever we need to do at the right and perfect time, at no matter what point in our life. The answer's always coming. Just take just a sec and think of something you were worried about or something going on and you didn't think it was going to work, but the answer came. May not have come the way you thought. It came. That's the divine working through you because of the request within you to create. So if you feel trapped in your life, well, change your thinking, change your life, and define a vision for your life. And I know for you and I know for me that we all have our balls of, stick it up in the air again. There you go. We all have our joy to live our life. And so it is.